Hi, everyone.
Okay. Uh,
Okay, so nice. So nice to start our discussion, and
yes, the
I'm so
microphone is
glad
yours,
that
Dr. Omar.
thank you, Miss Asma, for you really for your initiatives and for your work. And I'm really glad to meet Mr. Jim as a technologist to share my students his knowledge according to or NASA or something. Because my students, when they just hear about your name and about the name of NASA, they feel that there is something amazing they will find. There is something that they indeed they love. So all our thanks, our greeting for you from our heart here in Palestine, Mr. Jim, and we hope indeed we hope that this discussion, this session, will be valuable, will be fruitful as we guess, and really. We found that indeed that it will be amazing. For the microphone within you now to tell us all, for my students and Mrs. Zasma's student, about you in brief to make to inspire us for as students here and to give us some motivation to be distinguished like you. So we are just listening to you.
Very good. Very good. I put a few PowerPoint slides together because that's just
Yes,
the
you can share.
way I think. Yeah.
You
So
can
let's see
share
if I
your
can do
screen.
this. Select window or screen. Hmm. Let's see if this works. So you should be seeing my PowerPoint now, yes?
It's
I will tell
started.
you.
Yes, that's so nice. It's started.
Yes,
Just
it started.
yeah, you can just enlarge it,
Yes, we can
please,
see
or
your
zoomed it.
desktop.
And it should be all black and it should say Ingenuity at Mars. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Very good. Well, it is a privilege to be able to speak with you guys today. I have been looking forward to this ever since your teacher, Mrs. Azama, um, approached me on Facebook, and I thought that would be a wonderful thing to do. Um, when talking with her about what to discuss with her students, we talked about current events. And one of the most current events associated with NASA and space exploration is the first flight of the Ingenuity helicopter at Mars. In fact, it's so current, it hasn't actually happened yet. Sometime this week or next. And I'll show you a little bit about what Ingenuity is all about. But first, a little bit about me. I am retired from NASA after nearly 30 years working for that agency, and 10 years before that, I worked for a company called General Electric. And I had the privilege of being able to launch rockets, build spacecraft, and build robots that explored most of the planets within our solar system. So if you wanted to talk to me about space, I could probably talk for 2 hours, but we won't do that today. We could talk about any of the planets, and we could talk about Mars, and we could talk about Jupiter. And one of the things that I found after I retired was that everybody loves space. Everybody loves space exploration, and it's a wonderful way to be able to talk to people about what they might be able to do in the future or how they might be able to someday help humanity even here on Earth by exploring space. And that's a whole nother talk, I suppose. Um, but one of the things I've had the opportunity to do is to travel the world after I retired, talking to students such as yourself as about space and space exploration. It's a privilege today to be able to talk to you by Google Meet. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I would have loved to come over and give this lecture in person, but Obviously, because of the global pandemic and other factors, I'm not able to be there in person. I am 64 years old, and I graduated from college with a degree in physics, and then I went on and got a graduate degree in electrical engineering. Along the way, I learned to be a manager and a systems engineer, mostly by helping people do what they needed to do in order to explore the solar system. So let's talk a little bit about the solar system. Hopefully, most of you know about the planets that we see in the night sky. You can see Mercury and Venus, and obviously you know about Earth and its moon. Maybe you can see my cursor there. There's the little moon right there. And then there's Mars. And Mars is special to us because Mars is very much
Sorry,
like
Mr.
Earth.
Jim, your screen is off.
My
You're not
screen
sharing
is
your screen.
off. Oh no, it says you are
Yes,
sharing. Oh, you're sharing another application.
it was a clear.
How's-
Yeah, it was a clear in the first.
All right.
Now it's not.
So now we're not showing anything. You should be seeing my picture, yes? Are you seeing video from me?
Yes, just your face is opened. You can open from another device. It will be appeared if there is a laptop or something like this. It will be. You can share it for Miss Esma. Is it okay?
Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to share.
No, I can't see videos. I can't see videos. I can't see any screen. صباح
I did.
انتوا شايفين? Yes?
It's
It's
started.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's okay right now.
All
Yeah,
right.
it started.
So now let's try again. I won't make you listen to about me for very long. Are you seeing a graphic that shows the planets? Awesome.
Yes.
Well, then you missed all these
Yes,
really cool
thank
pictures
you.
of me launching rockets and playing with robots and satellites and that sort of thing. Can you see that now? Yes?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
thank you. Thank you. All right, so now we're back to the planets. And you probably learned this before, but there's Mercury is closest to the sun, and then there's Venus, and then Earth, and the moon, and then Mars. And one of the privileges I had while I was working for NASA was to send many missions to Mars. We go to Mars because if we understand what happened on Mars, we can understand what's happening on Earth right now. So that knowledge helps us understand things like climate change and how plate tectonics work, and even how the sun's solar wind interacts with the Earth. By exploring Mars, we have a sort of a ready-made laboratory to understand those effects and help us understand what we might be doing on Earth. So now you should be seeing a picture. This is an artist's rendition of a hovercraft dropping a rover onto the surface of Mars. Do you see that?
So
Yes.
this picture is taken on Mars.
This is an artist's view of what it must have looked like on February 18th when what we call the sky crane lowered this rover onto the surface of Mars. All right, so this is a very good drawing. It's not a real picture, but this is a very good drawing of what this rover would look like. Now, this rover is the size of a small car. Okay, just to give you a sense of how big it is. And it weighs a metric ton. So 1,000 kilograms, weighs 1,000 kilograms. And it's the size of a small car. So it carries a lot of things with it. It's got robot arms. It's got a power supply. You can see it's got 6 wheels. But one of the things it carries on board with it is the Ingenuity helicopter, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit in a little bit. So there's a close-up. This is actually of the rover after it landed on Mars, before it had the chance to get all covered over with dust. And a rover is a thing on wheels that we can move around. So that's what this is. The Mars rover has 6 wheels and it moves around on the surface of Mars. It's a robot because it controls itself a little bit. It has lots of cameras, and we've already talked about the wheels. And then, of course, you see the Mars. This is Jezreel crater on Mars that the rover is sitting in. Let's see, what else can I tell you about the rover? It's got in the front here, it's got a drill that drills into the rocks and releases some of the debris from the drilling, and it takes it into a scientific instrument and analyzes the rocks and tells us a little bit about what Mars must have been like when the rocks were formed. It can also do that by shooting a laser. There's a laser beam that comes out of this white box on the top, and it will vaporize rock so that you can release the gases that were trapped when Mars was formed. And once we can analyze those gases, we also get a picture of what Mars must have been like in its early days. Well, you know, it takes a while to explore Mars because the rovers, they don't move very fast. They don't move very fast. They move maybe 100 meters a day, which is not very fast at all. You could walk 100 meters in just a few minutes, but on Mars, because the time it takes for the controllers on Earth, the people on Earth that are controlling the car-sized rover on Mars, it takes 14 minutes just for the radio signals to get between the Earth and Mars, and another 14 minutes for it to get those signals to get back. And so one of the ways that we are thinking we can explore Mars better is if we could create sort of an autonomous helicopter that would fly at Mars. Well, that's a problem on Mars because the atmosphere is only 1% as thick on Mars as it is on the Earth. And it is these blades moving through the atmosphere that give the lift to the helicopters and the drones. So if the atmosphere isn't as thick, then you need bigger blades and they have to move faster. And so nobody's ever done that before. Nobody has ever taken a helicopter to another planet and flown it. And so that's what NASA is attempting to do this week and next week. What we did was we built this helicopter, and you can see it in the foreground here. Hopefully are you all seeing the picture of the technicians in their white suits?
Yes, we can.
Oh, good. Okay, so the very top here is the helicopter with its blades. You can see they're stowed and they're getting ready actually to put it into the shipping container to send it to the launch site to be launched. But this is called a clean room. Everybody has to dress up and be protected even better than COVID to keep debris from dirt from Earth getting to Mars, and to protect the helicopter from little bits of, like, even human hairs can affect the operation of the spacecraft that we send to Mars. So everybody dresses up in these things that we call bunny suits. That's actually sort of a nickname for them. These white suits are really, they're called clean room suits, but everybody calls them a bunny
Hello,
suit.
my friend. Hello.
Hello.
How are you,
Okay,
my friend?
Khalid, just a minute,
Can I-
we are in presentation. Please keep silent till Mr. Jim finished his presentation. Sorry for interruption, Mr. Jim. Sorry.
Oh, no problem at all. I can take questions at the end if there's time. And these people are technicians They're people that have gone to college and they've learned how best to build spacecraft to go to other planets. And that's what they're doing right now. They're finishing up building the Ingenuity helicopter that's currently on the surface of Mars. So what is in this helicopter? Well, there's a solar panel on the top, and you can see, maybe you can see a little tiny radio antenna here that talks to satellites as they fly overhead. And then these rotor blades, those are the things that spin and give the lift to the whole helicopter. That's about 1.2 meters from tip to tip, just to give you an idea of the size. And then the electronics that control it are here in this silver box. Plus then there are these legs that snap down to help it land on uneven surfaces when it's on the surface of Mars. The whole thing weighs about 1.8 kilograms, and you could hold it in your hand very easily if you were up close to it. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this? It took about 3 years to build, to design and build, and like I said, the difficulty mostly was the fact that the atmosphere, the air on Mars is very thin. And so we had to specially design these blades so that they would give the proper amount of lift. Now, the really interesting thing is people say, well, what's it going to do? Well, it's going to take some pictures, but mostly its purpose is to prove that we can do it. To prove that you can actually send a helicopter to Mars and that it will actually work. Once that's done and we learn how best to build a helicopter to send to Mars, then we'll build bigger ones and we'll send them on to Mars, and we'll be able to explore Mars a little bit faster than a rover can right now. So here
Is there a problem in the connection? I guess Miss
My
Asma.
teacher, my teacher,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mr.
here
they are not students.
Jam. Mr. Jam.
No problem. He's still here about the presentation.
Oh, okay.
No, he's talking
you should
about
be seeing a
the
little
sound.
video. Can you see this
listening with
video?
you,
It's
I'm listening with
repeating.
you.
Hear me?
Yes. Yes, now it's back.
Ah, okay.
You were not with us.
There's no sound with that video. I can jump back into the presentation. And yes, I understand that some of you don't understand English, but I don't speak any Arabic either. So I'm very sorry about that.
No, it's okay. We are good. We know what you're talking about. It's okay. Some videos, right? Some videos cannot be
cannot
played in the Hangouts or the Zoom. It needed to be set up
Okay.
from your side. So it's okay. We can go back to the presentation.
If you look hard on YouTube, if you go to YouTube and you search for Mars Ingenuity helicopter, you can find lots of videos of how it's flying. What I was trying to show you was the actual helicopter. Let's see if we can go back to this. Try this again. So maybe you don't see this, but I can see a little.
Mr. Jam, I think there is a problem one more time. Yes.
Video of the Mars helicopter being tested in a
voice
helicopter and a still picture,
okay.
yes, of the surface of Mars. Hello.
Your screen is now back.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm really sorry about the graphics. I didn't understand that you couldn't see the videos. But you can find them, I'm sure. So now you should be seeing a picture of the actual helicopter sitting on the surface of Mars after the rover had dropped it off. Are you seeing that now?
Yes.
Yes, very good, very good. So, so the Perseverance rover that we put on the surface of Mars back in February carried this little helicopter with it and has recently, like within the last few days, dropped off the helicopter and backed away. And so what you see here are tire tracks, or wheel tracks really, showing how that shows where the rover was, and then it dropped off the helicopter there and backed away so that it could continue to watch as the helicopter began its test flight, which it hasn't happened yet. The test flight will be this week or next week. So now this
But
is
do you
another.
mind? What do you mind?
Other video that you probably can't see. So I'll just look over. So what I would, are you back? You should
Yeah,
be
it's
seeing.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah, and
amazing.
I think I should be saying Wada on, yes, because this is the end of my presentation. But you can go to mars.nasa.gov and get the latest information about the helicopter now that you know about it. I am more than happy, if there's time. Does somebody have a question that they would like to ask? I'm more than happy to answer questions about exploring Mars or really anything else.
Can I ask a
Me.
question? Actually, you
Yes,
said
of
that,
course. Yeah, you go on with your question.
Mr. Jem, you said that helicopters hold any stuff from human beings to the space. I don't know why. What will happen if it holds anything from space, or why should people be clean or try to make themselves clean?
Oh,
What will happen?
that's a very good question. So there's a couple of reasons. One is the cameras on board. We don't want to get like grease from your skin or hair on the lenses because there's no way to clean them once we get into space. And everything tends to move around when you launch in a rocket. So there's all this air rushing by as you ascend from the Earth and you go into space. And so you don't want to get that debris on the scientific instruments. The other reason is because at Mars, we are looking for signs of life. Like maybe there are bits of leftover life and DNA on the surface of Mars right now that we could find. Maybe there was life on Mars once before. And so it would be really a bummer. I don't know if there's a word in Arabic for sadness, bummer. If we got to Mars and we found some DNA and it was ours, it was a DNA that we brought with us, that would be bad. So we try and protect the rover and the helicopter as much as we can for really those two reasons. One, we want to protect the scientific instruments, and we don't want to detect ourselves. We want to detect what's actually at Mars. That's a very good question.
Thank you. It's now more clear for me. And yeah, thank you for explaining me that
You're welcome.
point, and I'll search for about helicopters again. Actually.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know more information about it now.
Very good. I'm more than happy to leave the file, or I'll send it to your teacher and then she can distribute it, the PowerPoint file, she can distribute it to you all. More than happy to do that.
It will be valuable. That's so nice. We can share it to our students.
Yes.
Thanks for this suggestion, Mr. Jim.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I do have time for one more question, if you all would like to. Maybe.
Can I ask you a question? Miss me.
Maybe Mrs. Asama,
Dinah?
you
Mr.
could.
Jim, I want to ask
you
you a
could.
question.
Oh,
Yes, I have a
okay.
question.
All right. I'm seeing two.
We have two questions, Mr. Jim.
Okay, two questions.
Yeah.
But I don't know how.
Only
how to
two,
call
okay?
on one of them
Sama
because I
and
can't
Rinat.
read Arabic, so I don't know who is who. So maybe you could do that for me, Mrs. Asama.
Rinat, yes, yeah, their names are written in Arabic. Rinat, yes.
How long can the machine stay in Mars? Could you tell me?
Yes, I can. I can. So the rover, the big brother rover of the one we just landed was landed in 2012. We landed the really big rover for the first time on Mars. There were little rovers that we landed before that, but the big one like this one that we just landed in February landed in 2012. It was designed to operate for 2 years. It was only supposed to last for 2 years. And it is still going today, still operating and still working. So what happens is engineers in many things will say, okay, how long does it have to last? And then lots of times they will build it to last much, much, much longer than that. So NASA's expectation for the rover is that it will last at least 2 years. But we expect they might last as much as 20 years each. That's a good question. And then there was another, Mr. Sama, there was another woman, lady that was asking a question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Sama Abu Leila.
Okay, Mr. Jam, I want to ask you a question. Why did you choose Marsh to talk about it in the beginning? And do you think it is the most beautiful plane, and why?
Okay, so I missed the last part of your question. Do I think what about Mars?
Exactly. Why did you choose Mars to investigate and to start
To
your
talk about
searching
it in
and
the beginning.
looking to?
Yeah. So I chose to talk a little bit about Mars at the beginning of my presentation to you because it's very current. It's new information that will be coming down from Mars this week or next week as we attempt to fly the helicopter. The scientific community that's worldwide.
Okay, do you think?
Right. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Jam, do you think it is Marsh plane is the most beautiful plane, and why?
Do I think Mars? Okay.
Is Mars the most beautiful planet?
Most
Do you
beautiful.
think it's the most beautiful planet?
Oh, okay. So I didn't really go into too much of my background, but at one point in my career, I was the deputy director for planetary science at NASA. That meant that every mission, every spacecraft that we sent anywhere beyond Earth, whether it was Mercury or Venus or the asteroids or Mars or Pluto or Jupiter, that they reported to me. And I will tell you the thing that I find most fascinating about exploring the solar system is that every destination is beautiful and every destination is unique. There aren't two places that are the same. And so they always amaze me whenever we get the data back and we have an opportunity to see a place that's new. So I couldn't say Mars is more beautiful than Venus, or Mercury is more beautiful than Pluto, but I will tell you that they always, always amaze people, as well as myself. So I do like Earth. I think Earth is also most beautiful.
Okay, Mr. Jam.
So, all right.
Okay. Thanks, kid, to
Of
give
course.
us this wonderful
Thank
and
you.
amazing
Thank you very much
information
for your
about the planet.
questions. Thank you, Sama.
Very good.
You're welcome.
Thank you, all students. Thank you, Mr. Jim. Many, many thanks for accepting my invitation. I'm so
Thank you, my teacher. Thank you.
happy to, and despite
Excuse me.
of being virtually.
Mhm.
Excuse me, can I complete my Mr. Jim's time? Is fine to give you a couple of minutes. It's okay, but we have we had a deal, right? So many thanks go to Mr. Jim, and
Okay.
I know it's time of
You
lunch
can continue.
there. Yes, Sama. Maybe we will host Mr. Jim one more time, of course.
Maybe,
It is the first one, but not, right?
sure. Maybe another
Yeah.
time. That I would really love to do that. In fact,
Yeah,
sometimes what I
and
do
we would
is
really host you more time.
sometimes what I do is I just answer questions. I don't even give a presentation. I just let people ask questions. So
Yes, we will. There are so many questions here, I'm sure, and my students are
Yes.
writing, I know, in the chat box.
yeah. So if you
I need
Just
just to say something,
thank
Miss
Mr.
Asma.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes, Dr. Omar.
Really,
Yes, okay.
I appreciate your invitation and being our host today. You can share us, or you can share Miss Asma for assignment for our students, maybe for question for searching, and for next meeting we can discuss about the question. I need to let them updating for everything that you mentioned. So you can assign something related to another topic to let them search, to let the meeting exactly be more valuable. Thank you very much from the beginning about your efforts, about being with us here, and we're proud of you. And all Palestinian people, they indeed they like to give peace and regards from all of them for you, Mr. Jim. And thank you very much. Thanks for you, Asma, for your invitation. Thank you.
thank you very much, and I look
You,
forward.
Ms. Dr. Omar, thank you very
I look
much.
forward to a new meeting.
Yes,
Another meeting.
Thank you, my teacher. Thank you. Thank you.
yes, we are. Would you like to say something? You can open the microphone and thank Mr. Jim.
Thank you.
Miss, I want to say
Thank you.
something.
All together. All together. You have
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
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 Welcome. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye. And
Bye.
thanks a
Thank
million
you.
for the wonderful and amazing information about
Goodbye. Thank you.
Mr. Jim,
Thank you.
I need
Goodbye.
I need ask one question, please. I need ask.
Yes, Khaled.
I'm still
وين
here.
راح؟
Khaled, you had a question.
You speak Arabic? You speak Arabic, my friend? You speak Arabic?
I do not know.
Oh, that's
No.
fine. That's fine.
I had the opportunity to travel to Qatar a few years ago, and I met some wonderful people, and that sort of created an interest. But I have not had the opportunity to speak Arabic, and so
We hope that we can host you in Palestine. Palestine is a very amazing country.
I would certainly love to come.
Great
So,
country.
Mrs. Sama, if you want to capture the chat, if you want to record, like,
Yes.
record the chat, and then we can talk about
I
it.
read. Yes, I read all of them, and I will of our meeting, inshallah, one more time, one day. I think our students now are having final exams.
بس لو
They
سمحت
are
ممكن
about final
أعرف
exams,
الكلام؟
maybe after. Rinad, yes, so fast, please. Just, it's okay.
I want to
You
say
can
to
take.
Mr. Jim, I want to say congratulations to choose this science. You gave us an information never hear about it.
You're
So thank you. Thank you
Congratulations.
very
you
much.
are all welcome, and now I must go. So have a wonderful day, and do well on your exams, and we'll chat
Yes,
another time.
yes, have a wonderful, very much. Thank you.